What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. And today I'm bringing you two replays from our most recent war versus Klosh. Alright, guys. So we had a most recent arranged war in WHF versus Klosh. As you can see, they got the victory. Klosh is just a very, very strong clan. They came out swinging and they didn't let up pretty much the whole war. So very nice job to them. Obviously, they got the victory, but we're not going to be looking at all the replays. I'm just going to be showing two replays, and both of them are going to involve the lightning spells. Now, the first replay I'm going to be showing you is going to be done by, I think it's Pavu or Pavu. I don't know how to pronounce it exactly, but it's going to be showing you a Zap Lalo. And then the second replay is going to be my attack, going to be showing you a Zap with Sui Heroes into a hybrid. So just bringing you guys two different looks and two different ways that you can use these lightning spells to really open up bases and make some really strong attacks, okay? So things we need to pay attention to in this video is one, the Zap value and what that Zap value creates, and two, how you Sui the heroes and what those Sui heroes end up getting us in the base, okay? Before we get into the replays, just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate all the love and support. As I said in my last video, I know I took like a week of pretty much a week off of YouTube, but I was just to kind of get some clan stuff organized, and I'm back at it now. So let's go ahead and hop into the replays. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what kind of content you guys want to see. I fixed the stream issues with Discord, so my streams from now on, I didn't want to stream anything without being able to do the Discord live. And I also just got the CWL streamer role, so I'll be able to bring you guys some more streams without me actually attacking, with me just kind of commentating and watching the war. So looking forward to that. But without further ado, let's get into the first base and check out how Pavu crushes this. They're number one, so it's going to be coming in on Kenneth here. All right, so we're going to be looking at Zap Lalo. All right, so there's a few key things that you want to do when you're dealing with the Zap Lalo. And of course, the first thing you're going to want to look at is what can I get with my Zap spells, right? So let's just go ahead and take a look at this CC compartment and see what's around that can be zapped. Now, CC compartment is here. So obviously everything in this compartment is very easy to zap using the lightning spells, right? Now, the defenses are surrounding it. You have the scatter shot here. That's going to take 7 lightning spells. And these expos are both going to take 5 lightning spells, along with the sweeper, which only requires 2. Now, you can't get both of the expos and the scatter shot. So you have to choose which side you're going to get. You can also get this scatter shot, but it's, just based depending on where you want to do those zaps. It's not always going to be in the exact same spot for every base. Sometimes leaving scatter shots up on a Lalo is more beneficial when you can create better pathing for, say, your Sui hero. So what we're actually going to be doing on this attack is we're going to be taking out the bottom portion. So let me go ahead and clear that. So by taking out this bottom portion here, we go ahead and create an opening into this compartment for our Sui heroes. Now, obviously, you can see another highlight here is kind of a tip for you guys. See the town hall compartment, and I'm going to highlight the walls on the outside. So since there's no gap between the walls here and the town hall, that means there's no room for traps or anything that will stop super goblins. So it is a very blimpable town hall compartment. Actually, you know what? I think he might have zapped the sweeper and the backside scatter shot. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, he's going to get a scatter shot at Expo and the air sweeper, or the scatter shot, the Expo, and the CC. So just we'll catch that on the fly. For some reason, I have a brain fart exactly which one he does. But like I said, there's no room for small bombs or giant bombs here, so this is a blimpable town hall. Now, he does have to fight the sweeper if he flies in, which is why I think he actually zapped the sweeper. Not 100% sure. But now, once you cleared this compartment, whether it be the back side or the front side, you just kind of mark all this out. And you have the town hall here. You got to kind of look at what is left in the base. And the goals are, you know, obviously you got to deal with the enemy archer queen, enemy RC, and then create pathing, right? So the way Pavu is going to do that is he's going to end up suing here with wall breaks to get his queen and his king into this single inferno, and that's going to allow his king and his queen to come in here and kind of take down this enemy queen, along with taking out a good portion of the base. Now, also remove this. As you can see, as he removes that, if he blimps into the town hall here, you can see he has a very nice Lalo path around the top side of the base, right? So you're looking for that nice solid L shape. And when we remove the town hall and this top side, right? So we remove that from the picture, and we remove all this from the picture. You can see what I mean by the pathing. So by having this pathing here, and we're going to use the Inferno as our right limit, and then this mortar as our left limit, kind of wrapping into these bases. Now I'm not including like this mortar and this cannon really, because at the end of the day, you know, 2 loons on each one of those, take those down in one shot, and you can continue on with your Lalo. But you have a nice solid Lalo path right here, and then you have an air sweeper, or not an air sweeper, you have a air defense, air defense, and air defense, and it's all 3 in a line along your path. It doesn't have to be exact, but it's all 3 on a line in your path of Lalo. Now, if he zaps this scatter shot like I think he does, he doesn't have to deal with that on the back end, and his queen can deal with this scatter shot here in the core. So he gets both scatter shots, and he ends up getting the queen as well. And not having to deal with that back end scatter shot allows his Lalo to kind of be able to fly directly into the eagle here. Also, another thing that a lot of people kind of struggle with on this attack is by using these air defenses as anchor points, right? You want to keep in mind that you want to be able to tank these key defenses like the scatter shot on your lava hounds as your loons are flying through. So the reason why he probably zaps this scatter shot is because he knows that as this lava hound flies from this direction, and then probably another one, you know, coming from this direction, that scatter shot is not going to be tanked. So any balloons that come in here are just going to be getting fired on by the scatter shot. And that's not good, because obviously when your loons are just dying to scatter shots, it only takes like 1 or 2 shots in order to really start doing heavy damage to your Lalo. So with that scatter shot down, you can see he has pathing into this eagle from the bomb tower, and it's not really difficult pathing to get into the base, right? So using some support loons here to kind of get these buildings going, some coming up like in this area to just push into the base. He starts clearing all the way straight through this middle compartment. So that's when we talk about what the zaps kind of unlock on the base, it isn't really just taking out like certain value targets on a base. It's more about taking down targets on a base that create pathing, because at this point in the game, the power of the attacks is more in pathing than it is in the actual strength of the troops, right? So the loons at this point are so strong that, you know, 30 balloons can take down pretty much any amount of defenses remaining in the base, as long as they have a good path to do it. And it's been like that since, you know, Town Hall 9, Town Hall 10. Doesn't really matter the meta, but that's always been like the key rule of thumb for Lalo, is creating that pathing. So by removing this air defense, this Inferno, Queen, Expo, Wizard Tower, and Scatter Shot with his Sui, removing these defenses with his Zaps, all he has to do is deal with these 3 air defenses that are in line with his Lalo, and then the Eagle. Those are like the only really big threats, besides the RC, which he's gonna, you know, bring some headhunters to deal with that. But those are the only 3 like crucial defenses that he has to deal, or 4 crucial defenses he has to deal with along this Lalo path. And again, he has really solid Lalo pathing here, because as troops come in, you know, they're going to be able to get directly into those key defenses. And he's going to be using these anchor points on the outside of the base, these outside defenses, to kind of push his Lalo to where he wants it to go. So the loons from the outside pushing into this air defense are going to push in this wizard tower. Loons coming from the inside are going to push into the bomb tower. And then from there, they go to the eagle. And then because there's no defenses here, everything that goes to the eagle is going to continue to this backside compartment, just like this. Okay, so that's the pathing that you're talking about. So let's just draw out the pathing one more time exactly on the Lalo so you guys can see. We're going to mark these buildings out. And I'll kind of show you as we fly in. Let's go ahead and clear these outside defenses because obviously those are the easiest to take down. His flight is going to come in here. It's going to wrap around this way. And this is where it's going to meet up with the flight coming from 9 o'clock. Coming like this. And everything takes this path right through the base. Coming behind this air sweeper so he doesn't have to fight the sweeper at all. So you can see all he has to do is really unlock this portion of the base right here. And at that point, if he has enough loons and enough spell support, just using like the Warden Tome and whatnot to get through, he'll have no problem clearing the rest of the base because on the back side, we have a single Inferno. We only have the one Wizard Tower to worry about. Scatter shots down. You get into this Wizard Tower fairly early, and that Wizard Tower is tanked on that air defense. So really good base identification from Pavu here. And let's go ahead and check out how he does it. I'll slow down and pause as needed. And I'm very interested to see where exactly he is going to be doing the zaps. Yep, okay. So apologies for the initial, mess up. But there's the zap spells that he's going to be using. Now he's bringing 3 freezes and only 2 haste because at the end of the day, the haste are to get you into the high value targets. And he realizes he doesn't really need that. Now he's using this RC down here, and what the RC down here is going to end up doing is just cleaning up his Lalo pathing, and eventually she's going to end up going down around this Wizard Tower, but it's just less buildings that the Queen has to take out. Now the RC ends up getting the Expo, which is pretty big because the Expo has a lot of hit points, but a King ability pushes through the enemy Queen, uses a double layer wall break, which is really OP, but we'll go ahead and pause it right here so I can just kind of show you guys exactly the pathing that he took. So now you can kind of see the L shape a little bit more. So Battle Blimp right here because there's no small bombs, easy to take down with 1 Hound and 5 Sneaky Gobs. And that also allows that Hound to pop out and go straight to this air defense, pull any traps that are around there, and kind of tank anything in there for a little while. It pretty much gives him a 3rd Lava Hound on his Lalo. Then his Lalo is going to need to come in from this direction. And he'll probably end up sending another Lava Hound directly here. And it's going to tank that Wizard Tower. So his loons are completely safe in this compartment. But as you can see, as long as he gets good timing on these outside defenses, his path through the base is really, really set up to unlock this compartment. Now his Queen is still alive and still has the ability intact. And there's nothing out here to draw her outside the base. So she's going to end up punching through this wall with the King, which is, very beneficial because with that ability, she's going to be able to get in here and clear a bunch of defenses. I'm not sure if she gets a Wizard Tower, but that would be ideal. But getting that Expo down is just very, very strong. So here comes the Battle Blimp. Already has some loons going on his Lalo. And then as soon as the Battle Blimp, he knows it's going to go in there. Get some cleanup minions down. And see, he's utilizing that first Hound in order to tank, and he hasn't dropped a Lava Hound yet because he knew he had that 3rd Hound inside the Battle Blimp. So already soaking some traps, tanking that Wizard Tower and the air defense. And you can see he's going really early on the loons coming from this direction, And what that's just going to do is going to allow him to path into all these defenses at once, right? And I'm sure he's about to start this Lalo here, and then he can go ahead and use that next Hound going towards this air defense. So really nice start here. Gets the Warden down. He does end up flying another Hound in there just to tank. And it's going to work out well for him. Queen finally phases. And there you go. She picks up the Expo. And then she bounces around the outside to start cleaning up. Now, here's the next important part. As he uses this haste spell here to get his loons moving this way, he is not delaying these loons coming from these outside defenses because he wants everything to kind of push in to these defenses in the core because this is the lane that he wants to ride. So while these loons are pushing through with this haste, these loons are already traveling in to take down these defenses and kind of join up to push through. So timing is everything on a Lalo, and this is kind of an expert example of exactly how to time your spell placement versus your Lalo drops. Because of course with the Zap Lalo you have very minimal spell space. Now he's about to eat some eagle shells here, but they end up landing on where the hound used to be. So he uses the tome because usually there's traps around the eagle, and there was a ton of traps around that eagle. But as you can see, the warden ability brings him through. He still has 3 freezes. He ends up swagging all 3 of them. Queen still alive, cleaning up with the minions and the pups, which is really OP. And this base just never really stood a chance. So really, really nice attack here from Pavu. Pavu's, I don't know where they found Pavu, but apparently he was in Golden X. But this guy's just absolute monster at attacking. All right, now we're going to take a look at my hit. Where was it? All right, so base number 27 here. Not a fully upgraded base, so kind of a less impressive attack coming in on their number 1 with Pavu, but I'll take it. All right, so again, we're taking 7 zap spells, so we have to look at the zap value around the base, right? So with these zaps, I can't reach the scatter shot. Now I can reach the eagle, and I can reach the wizard tower. I can reach the expo. I can reach both these sweepers. I can reach the queen, and I can reach this expo as well. Now this is where you kind of have to choose the value that you're going to be using versus or value you're going to get from the zaps, and then equate that to which attack you're going to be using. So it's very difficult to sui for a town hall that's this deep. I mean, you could arguably take this channel, but then you have this single inferno, you have the scatter shot here, you have an expo here, another inferno here, RC here, and then you have to funnel all this to get your heroes in, right? So it's a very difficult sui to pull off to get your heroes deep enough without taking too much damage to get that town hall. So that's not really an option. And then as I said in the last attack, you can kind of see here, this little channel here kind of dissuades me from wanting to use the sneaky gobs, right? So if I wanted to blimp this town hall, I would want to come from this direction or from this direction. But that's a lot of opportunity for tornado traps or black seeking air mines and all that stuff. So I'm not going to be taking that risk. So how are we going to approach this base, and why did we use the hybrid? Well, so if I zap the CC, this expo, the archer queen, and this wizard tower, what I can end up doing is look at where I want to path my hybrid. Now I'm bringing 22 miners and 15 hogs, so it's no healers in this. It's not like your traditional hybrid. But what I'm going to end up doing here is kind of overpowering the base because of the strength of the hybrid. So I got 2 heals, 1 freeze, RC, and I'm going to end up using a siege barracks on this attack because I don't need the battle blimp. I'm going to let my hybrid deal with the town hall. So if I want my hybrid to deal with the town hall, most likely course of action is going to be coming in from this direction. But this is a lot of trash for those miners to see, and the hogs are not going to take that trash either. So they're probably going to continue pathing around this way. So at this point in the base, if I don't clear this, I'm going to get a really nasty split, and that's not going to lead me to any kind of success. So how do I deal with that? Well, if I want to deal with this middle compartment, I'm going to have to deal with this compartment as well. So go ahead and mark these compartments off, and you can see using a siege barracks here, kind of funneling this way, I have all these defenses down, and I have really solid hybrid pathing straight through the base. Now the eagle is worrisome because it's very late, but again, I'm using the hybrid. Miners don't really take an absorbent amount. You can kind of get away with using a hybrid on a late eagle. Hybrid just has a lot of strength in it. But let's talk about how I'm going to sui into this base. So we had 2 sui fails on this, kind of using the same strategy because there's a Tesla right here that we weren't expecting. And what our original plan was to wall break into here and then to wall break into here and get our heroes into this compartment. And the way we're going to do that is you use 2 loons here. The loons crash down and they kill this. And then you use a couple, like a baby dragon and a loon up here, and that kind of clears all this stuff out. Now you also want to use a baby dragon on this bottom side to just make sure you solidify this funnel. And then you start your king here because he's not taking any damage from the single inferno. The single inferno range is outside. So the king will come this direction and then start working his way in, right? So this is your ideal time to get that first wall break. Now, if you send that wall break from here and that Tesla pops, the wall break's going to go here, which ends up throwing off our first Sui attempt on this base. So that's not what we wanted. So the way we kind of counteract that, let me clear this, is as the king is working this way, we dropped in the ice golem just to start tanking around here. And we're going to drop the queen in from down south. And since this is all cleared because of the baby dragon, the queen has no other direction but to follow here. But she will take down this Tesla in time so that I can do the first wall break here without worrying about that Tesla by sending it in from this direction. And then once that Tesla goes down, I'm free to send in the second wall break here. Now the king is going to actually wrap inside because that baby dragon up top is going to clear a bunch of these buildings. And then once that second wall break is open, he's going to wrap back in. And the queen is going to be just following along. And that's going to give access. I'm also going to have an ice golem there. It's going to give access to all these defenses here. Right? So also giving access to this trash ring in the middle. And that's exactly what we want. That's exactly what you're looking at with the Sui. So you got to kind of get creative with the Sui value here. And Hunter came up with a really good idea on getting the Sui. But with that compartment down, you can see on the base here, it's kind of ideal for hybrid because you drop the siege barracks kind of low. Now, one thing that I did change, and it was kind of an accidental change because I was planning on hitting another base, was I brought a siege barracks, but I had Yetis in the siege barracks because I was planning on doing a Yeti blimp into a town hall. But it ends up working to our favor because the P.E.K.K.A. here dies because of all the point defenses that are on him relatively early. And you don't really get a huge funnel down towards the 12 o'clock side of space. But by using the Yetis, as they come out of the siege barracks, they're going to continue that funnel and keeping all the troops inside the base. So this is all funneled off with your heroes, and then this is your siege barracks funnel. And you can see you have really ideal pathing directly into the core of this base with the hybrid. You're going to want to tome over the scatter shot and town hall, right? So obviously your heal spells are either going to be one before, depending on traps, and one after, and then just kind of overpowering the base, finishing off over there by the eagle. And that's pretty much exactly what's going to happen. So again, just another look at the power of the Zaps. You don't have to use Lalo with it. A lot of these bases are kind of defending Lalo. This would be a difficult Lalo because you would have to get into the eagle really early, which means you would have to blimp the town hall, which isn't impossible. But you know, blimping over the town hall doesn't really get you a lot of value here because that hound is just going to fly towards this air defense while your Lalo is over here, and you're not going to get any extra value out of that. So you also have the two back-end wizard towers, the back-end inferno, RC over here. So not really ideal Lalo pathing into this base, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the replay and see how everything worked out. So obviously starting with the Zaps, so let's go ahead and zoom in. Just waiting on that queen to hop around the corner. Got to be patient with the original Zaps. Oh, I was wrong about this one as well. Oh, yeah, because we were originally going to zap the queen, but we decided to get the eagle because it was so late, and the queen would get dealt with hybrid. But I was thinking about zapping the queen to do a Lalo, and that's why we did. Sorry about this. War happened a couple days ago. And I just left the gym, and I am sucking right now. But Sui starts going good. I get the ice golem in. Everything's nice and funneled. Queen picks off that Tesla, and then boom. Now, we were planning on using this freeze here anyway, so the king gets a little bit ahead, and that's fine. But the king ends up bouncing inside, which is really OP here. And the queen here, she still has the ability. And what went wrong with Hunter's attack is we end up having to use the RC to try to get that scatter shot and that inferno down. And the RC is going to add a lot of value to this attack. So siege barracks goes down, out of range of these point defenses, obviously, because you want the siege barrack to get as much value as possible. So here comes the P.E.K.K.A. and the Wizard's Queen still alive with her ability. And you can see she's cleaning up this entire compartment. She's actually going to step up and get the eagle, or get the enemy queen here. So nice value here. Didn't need to use the saps for it. and then that giant bomb goes off and it wrecks a whole bunch of my wizards. So here's where we're looking at the funnel not being solidified, right? So this is where the Yetis coming out of the siege barracks are really going to come in handy. So I get my hybrid going down early, and you can see the pathing to the town hall is really ideal as long as I can get this trash down on the outside, and the Yetis are going to do that exceptionally well. So kind of a lucky thing there that I ended up bringing the Yetis. But Queen pops to the outside while my hybrid's coming through. Now I eat that bomb tower, which isn't ideal. Obviously, you don't want to have a bomb tower go off on your hybrid early, so I go ahead and use that first heal. And there goes the Yetis and that wizard. Now some hogs do bounce out, and my miners do end up going straight for the town hall. But because these Yetis are going to continue working on these defenses, you can see everything staying in the base. Queen's still alive, still has ability. She's being extremely, extremely OP. So I go ahead and use my last heal in this backside compartment. And you can see it's pretty much a straight shot through the base. RC ability still intact. I got a ton of miners left. The Yetis still alive on the outside of base. They pretty much haven't taken any damage. Finally phased my queen, and we're going to go ahead and end on that last bomb tower, but I still have the RC ability, so it's not a big deal at all. Warden still trailing behind. And again, just a really good zap into a really high value Sui. So if you notice on those attacks, the value of the zaps was really good, but the Sui is what really ended up opening up all the advantage on the base. And then you just have to figure out what's your best back end troop. Like, not every base is built just because you get a scatter shot and an eagle and a CC to, or the eagle and the CC or the queen or anything like that. It's not just like, oh, I can Lalo now because the queen's down. Generally, that's one of the things that you're looking for with a Lalo, but you also need to look at other things. Like, if the queen's not down, you can still hybrid, or you can still mass miner, or you can hog with headhunters. There's a lot of different options that you can do. So just make sure you guys are just paying attention to the layouts of the base. Get creative with your Suis. Try to get as much value as possible. As you see, both those attacks, we use a double layer wall break on Sui heroes. You have a lot of strength in those heroes. So feel free to utilize the strength in your heroes, because level 75 heroes are no joke. That's it for the video, guys. Sorry I kind of messed up the plans on those. Like I said, this war happened a couple days ago, and I didn't really check the replays before I started recording. And I just got back from the gym, and I haven't eaten, so I'm extremely tired. So I'm going to go get something to eat, and I hope to catch you guys on the next one. Big shout out to my wife. I don't know if you guys caught the last stream I had, but she made me an overlay for the WHF wars. So whenever I'm doing a war from WHF, I'll be using that custom built WHF overlay. And then for my YouTube videos, one of my partners, Stronghold Bases, built me this one. So big shout out to those guys. Really appreciate all the support. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Until then, take it easy.